How's it going, you guys? We'll wait a couple of seconds. We're gonna do the. Thought I'd mix up today and do the actual live audiobook of my book. We're gonna pick out one of the better chapters and we'll have at it. Hey, Salavi, how's it going? Welcome to the spot. Actually, I was thinking I would do the book for the audio. Or we could do something else that you guys want to do. I'm down for really whatever. I just thought the book was the closest thing to me, so I figured why not. Give me a second while I set up the old everything, basically. My bad, y'all. Cool. So what are you guys thinking? There's a total of 4 of us in here right now. Shit, you guys want to pick out something cool? Should we do my book? Move this somewhere where you can see it a little better. That might be a little more helpful. Thank you, Lady Fire. I appreciate it. How do I... Something weird's going on with my channel, you guys. Bear with me. Come on! So, how you guys been? How's your day? Thank you, Lady of Fire Poetry. I'm glad you like my book. And thank you for the Patreon support. I do appreciate it. Lady of Fire is one of the people that supports me on Patreon. So if you guys want to do a quick... you want to do a quick... I'll see if I can find it for you. Guys, go pick your favorite Hermetic principle from the Hermetic philosophy. And I'll read that from the book. Hopefully it's not one of the longer chapters. Or do you just want me to tell them to you? Okay, so the first, I'll list down to you guys. First is law of the mental universes, which is everything has a mental origin. 2 is correspondence, which you just said, Salavi, is the as above, so below. Then we have vibration, which is kind of like law of attraction. Then we have the polarity, which is everything has opposites. Then you have rhythm, which is everything swings between those opposites. And then you have cause and effect, which says everything's tied to everything else. Every cause, every effect has a piece of the cause in it, and vice versa. And then you have gender, which says that everything that manifests with both female and male qualities to it. I'm sorry, not female and male, but masculine and feminine qualities to it. Not to be confused with male and female, though that's a part of it. So... Whoops. I'll get started in just a moment, you guys. Just getting things set up, y'all. Thanks for your patience. I really do appreciate it. Happy to have you guys here. Happy to be getting in a live. I've been super busy, and I had to have work tomorrow morning, so I wasn't gonna go on. But I was like, "Fuck it, let's go live." At least get something in, you know. Nice way to start your day. Damn, where are you at, Sharp Isaacs? That's funny. If I start the lives really late, I'm guessing I'm gonna be getting a lot of people from the other side of the world, which is really cool. Um, cool. All right, so we have as above. We have correspondence and vibration. Chapter 3, Law of Correspondence. Ooh, that one's kind of good and relatively short. That one's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's only like 9 pages long, roughly. Law of vibration is a bit longer. Is still a vibration? Yeah, vibration's pretty long. I liked that one a lot, and I had a lot to say about it. So maybe that one's like a lot of the book. Eventually, I'm gonna audiobook this whole thing and make it really professional and put it somewhere, whether I'm charging for it or not. I want to find some nice background music, you know. Law of Correspondence. This is chapter 3 out of the book, my book, 7 Pillars. If you guys haven't gotten it, and I don't convince you to get it at the end of this reading, then I have not done my job. Okay. We're going to get all mystical on you, alright? So we're pretty much ready to start. Ready when you guys are. As soon as this video loads something up for me. This, what's playing in the background is called Into a Mystical Forest, and I haven't meditated to it in a long time, but it was my favorite to meditate to for like half a year. Book on Patreon for a day. Ooh, that's a good idea, Salavi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, to put the book on Patreon. Yeah, that's a great idea. I'll put the book on there for sure. I guess whatever the... Nice, alright. Good idea. That's great. My Patreon... I'll send you guys a link to the Patreon right now. Sorry, I don't post on Patreon too often. It's a weird... It's all there... It's its own social media now where you post updates and do things like that. So, let me just find it for you guys. But the Patreon is just Man of Letters if you guys want to look that up. Yeah. I might mess with this later, you guys, because it's taking a while. Oh, here we go. Cool, there's my Patreon if any of you guys are interested. Let's crack into this. We'll do correspondence, because I talk about vibration a lot. And correspondence is short and sweet, and gives me time to get to bed at a decent hour. Cool. No, you were not, Crystal. Don't lie. You were not just reading. What part of the book were you on? Yo, you guys, if you've read the book, go leave a review on Amazon and help a brother out so I can get some more traction with with the reviews. All right, let's go. Where are we at? Bummer. Chapter 2, just starting. Ooh, well, we're reading chapter 3, so I've got 3 taken care of you. Pull out your book, students, if you want to read along in class. We're going to read 2 paragraphs at a time, and then we will call on the next student to read. Just kidding. Okay, you guys ready? You ready for this? Just waiting for the go, you guys. You tell me when to start. I'm going to read this chapter. And then go down and pour some candles because I got to time it perfectly. And they should be done by the time I'm reading this chapter. Ooh! That lucid dreaming mix is taking some getting used to. It really is. It really is. I took both the Shiras and I took my lucid dreaming one. That's my queen by birthright. All right, I'm gonna start. You guys ready? Someone say go, so I know that you guys are ready. All right, cool. We should have got some water. Oh well. Here we go. Chapter 3, the law of correspondence. Now let's dive into the law of correspondence once and for all. Laws are only binding when we do not know how to use them properly. We apply law against law to rise above certain planes of existence and further our evolutionary processes. My grandfather used to always say, "You have to know the rules before you can break them." If we truly understand the meaning and implications of this law, we can obtain massive breakthroughs within our lives. It is a skeleton key that unlocks doors to understanding the universe and, more importantly, the self. There is a correspondence between all things on every plane of existence, the mental, physical, and spiritual planes. The Hermetic axiom says, as above, so below. As below, so above. Keep this thought in mind and you will grasp concepts of unknown worlds by studying the known. Geometry is the tool astronomers use to calculate the mass of an invisible black hole thousands of light years away while seated comfortably in their observatories. A knowledge of the principle of correspondence enables a person to reason intelligently from the known to the unknown by studying the monad he learns of the archangel. As stated in the previous chapter, the law of correspondence says that anything found within the microcosmic level is found on the macrocosmic level. So let's look at how this operates in the grand scale of the universe. Scientists say the universe is roughly 156 billion light years wide, with clusters of giant groups of galaxies. This says that the universe is mostly space. If the universe as a whole is mostly space, by the law of correspondence, so must everything else be within the universe. As above, so below. Now let's go below and shrink down to our own galaxy. Epic amounts of light would make one think that a galaxy is mostly filled. It is not. It is made of only a handful of celestial bodies. It is also mostly space. Shrink down even further to our own solar system. The sun is 93 million miles away from us, with only 8 planets orbiting it, covering hundreds of millions of miles of orbit. It's like a golf ball orbiting a basketball court. Again, mostly space. Let's shrink down even smaller, to the human body. We would think the body is dense, right? It is so dense that with enough practice, our hands could cut a brick in half, or the pressure of our solid fingers can play keys on a piano. We are very solid indeed. It turns out that our bodies and the atoms we consist of are also, however, mostly space. Quantum scientists have found that if the nucleus of an atom were the size of a basketball, the orbiting electrons, which define the outer limits of the atom, would be something like 20 miles away. That's 99.999% space. A basketball is about a foot across, and for its outer edge to be 20 miles away means that for 20 miles there is nothing but space. All atoms are this way, which means once it touches up against another atom, the other wall is also 20 miles away from its nucleus. That's a full 40 miles of space between two basketballs. These 40 miles of space make up all of our physical reality. 40 miles of space make up the atoms of the sun, water molecules, the ocean, your hand, a feather. 40 miles of space make up everything solid within the universe. This is what I mean when I say that from nothing comes everything. Nothingness gives birth to something. The law of correspondence creates a web of interconnectedness so complex it's difficult to even put into perspective, yet I will try. The all is infinite, right? It is infinite in that it contains everything and there is nothing outside of it. All ideas, happenings, events, possibilities, and lifetimes have happened within the all, which consists mostly of space. That must mean that from space or from nothingness comes infinity and all possibilities. Since this is one of the principal operating systems of the all, everything within the all must operate in this same manner. Now, I don't say this yet, but that's a hint at the law of correspondence and law of cause and effect. You can't have an effect that doesn't have a piece of the cause. So, moving along. This means we can apply it to everything. It is the shape of the nothing that gives definition to the something. The reason the universe is infinitely possible is because it comes from something that can give shape to anything. It is made of nothing but pure potential. And that pure potential is the nothingness that contains everything. Nothingness is not what we think it is. It isn't the absence of something. It's more like the nothing that holds the entirety of all celestial bodies. Nothingness is simply unsolidified potential capable of taking on any form when instigated by consciousness. It's the definition of everything. It gives space to beauty and form to creation. It allows a thing to shine and thrive and individualize into newer and more complex patterns than before. Artists use this all the time when they create. They call it negative space. The late American jazz musician Miles Davis said, Music is the space between notes. It's not the notes you play, it's the notes that you don't play. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart said the same thing. The music is not in the notes, but in the silence between. And so did the composer of Clair de Lune, Claude Debussy, when he said that music is the space between the notes. Beautiful, is it not? I understand that all this may sound too much like fantasy. Beautifully wordsmithed and carefully crafted soliloquies from a far too introspective mind, and I agree, this is probably true. However, the one incredible thing about this law is that if it happens on any plane of existence, even on the philosophical and universal level, it must also happen everywhere else, even in the physical and mental worlds. Now that science has caught up with these age-old teachings, what does it have to say about the concept that from nothing comes all? Well, using the unified field theory, quantum physicists have determined that there is a universal field of energy that is pure potential. A revelation in quantum physics speaks of the potential within electrons. It is called the double-slit theory. The conclusion of the experiment was that protons can be both solid and waveform at the same exact time. This means they can be nothing and something simultaneously. It is important to know that these electrons make up everything in the universe. Can you imagine that? That everything in the universe is made of particles that are both something and nothing at the same time. We are talking pure potential. My friends, you are made literally of pure potential. Next section of the law of correspondence, how to win any argument. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. All right. How to win any argument. Now, let's use the law of correspondence in practicality. We'll take it into the world of interpersonal communications. Have you ever wanted to learn how to easily communicate your thoughts and views without running in wild, heated circles? In other words, would you like to learn how to navigate any argument with ease? This is how you do it. Listen to what the other person is saying. If you want to be successful in dealing with people, whether it's your spouse, a coworker, a parent, a child, students, teachers, you have to listen to what they're saying, otherwise you miss everything. The law of correspondence says anything that happens without happens within, and anything that happens within happens without. So, say your boss looks at you and says it's a dog-eat-dog world. Life will chew you up and spit you out if you let it. Well, is that so? Yes, of course, but to him. Sorry, music's coming a little loud. Yes, of course, to him or her, it's the absolute truth. Remember, our definitions of the world are based solely on our experiences within it. After all, we cannot define the world by the things that have not happened to us and by experiences we have not yet lived. It wouldn't make any sense. It would be like me trying to give advice to a woman on how to be a woman. I have no place in that world, so I have no right to speak on being a man. However, I may comment as much as I like. With that said, we cannot get into an argument on how the world is when our worlds are literally different. This is how we all live in varying realities in the same world. We all are and are not at the same time. Sorry, you guys, something weird happened over here to my magic one. I just got blown up right now. All right, here we go. We're continuing moving along. We all are and we all are not at the same time. My candles are starting to dim on me, you guys. Let's get a little light over here. There we go, that's better. Okay. If someone starts crying because of the beauty of a falling leaf, we know that that person appreciates the beauty and the small things to a point of tears. We know that everything we do around this person will probably be met with appreciation and wonder. If someone says, screw women, all they do is play games and manipulate, does that mean that all women do is play games and manipulate? Absolutely, but only to that person. Have you ever heard of the phrase, those who live by the sword die by the sword? People who play games and manipulate attract people who play games and manipulate. Our perceptions of the world define our world, and as a result, we attract that which we think into our lives, and if we don't attract it, then we create it. So with that person who thinks women manipulate, he is actually creating that truth in his own world, true in his world, but none other. That's what I mean when I say he is right. Right and wrong can be very subjective, though. Again, the secret to win any argument is to genuinely listen to the person you are talking to put yourself in his or her situation and fully understand where he or she is coming from and meet him or her halfway, because only then may you turn the conversation around. This is how we use the law of correspondence to our advantage. It's how we become the chess player instead of being the chess piece. The game doesn't change, only our rules. Our roles. Only our roles. So from here we learn to take control of our lives by controlling our states of being. It is great to know how to deal with what lies outside of us, but that is also all we can do, because by no means will we ever be able to completely control them. I read that wrong. It is great to know how to deal with what lies outside of us, but that is all we can do, because by no means will we ever be able to completely control them. Too much is left up to variables outside of our control. All we can control is ourselves and our perceptions of the world, which leads me to the most important part of this principle. The law of correspondence is most useful when we use it to figure out who we really are and how we operate, not others. Just like listening to others during an argument to see where they are coming from, we should do the same with ourselves. Listen to the words you use and look at the paradigms you have created that define how the world operates. Remember, the conclusions you have come to are conclusions based solely off of your experiences and how you have interpreted them, meaning they are only absolutely true when it comes to you and only you. This is where we take ultimate control over our lives. Whatever you find yourself running into over and over again is based on the conclusions you have made about the world. In order to shift into something we desire to become, we must first change our ideas and concepts of the outside world. We must drop our biases for something a little more wholesome. How do we do that? Sometimes life happens, and it takes a toll on our well-being since we are ultimately influenced by things outside of our control. This is the way it must be. The outside world absolutely influences the inside world, but it's the inside world that we have control over. If we are able to stay at peace with what is happening on the outside, we maintain peace on the inside. After all, it is said that peace does not mean to be in a place with no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be calm in your heart, mind, and soul. It is better to light a match than to curse the darkness. This way, we begin happening to the world instead of the world happening to us. We must change the inside, and the outside changes with it. As above, so below. I have now explained the theoretical part of the law of correspondence, and it is time to look at some practical ways of achieving the way of being I have described above. What are some necessary steps we must take to reach an observer mindset? 1. Take a sincere look at your current reality, your career, finances, relationships, and health. Look at these things and ask yourself which inner thoughts are being transposed to the outside. What conclusions have you come to that are not serving you anymore? Remember, your experiences are yours. They are not bad or good, they just are. They served their purpose for the time, but now it is time to grow. It is time to evolve and to learn new lessons from new experiences. Witness where the paradigms of your world come from and then learn from them. Once you do this, you'll be in a position to make decisions that move you into a direction that is more in tune with where you really want to be. The best way to do this is to proceed without judgment on yourself. Because underneath it all, you are made of love and light. You've only acted to gain as much happiness as you could, just like the rest of us. We are all in this together. Follow love, follow passion and excitement, smile, laugh, and always remember that you are made up of subatomic particles with infinite potential. Every part of you screams, I can be anything. First, look at who you are now. Accept, let go, and trust the bigger part of you and let it out. 2. Take responsibility. I know I hate this word too, or at least I used to back when I wasn't good at seeing things for what they really are. Then I realized responsibility merely means your ability to respond. No more, no less. Your mind is an incredibly powerful mechanism. We project into the universal field with our minds, and therefore we project our realities. When we tell the universal field that we are responsible for our lives and what goes on in them, both good and bad, we tell the universe that we wish to be creators. We say, these things are happening because of me, therefore it is I who have the power to change them. We tell the universe that we wish to be sentient beings who dictate the circumstances of our lives. We put blame on outside influences for either good or bad. We also put power into the outside influences. Therefore, we are at the mercy of outside happenings, pawns instead of players. So instead, take responsibility. 3. Lastly, focus. When all the shenanigans have passed, we can continue forward. Let bygones be bygones. Say thank you for the experiences, the lessons, and move on with your life. I live in Southern California, where we are tormented with droughts lasting tens of years. We pump water to feed people and agricultural lands from hundreds of miles away. We have signs that say, where water flows, food grows. Let's bring in the law of correspondence here and say, where attention flows, life grows. Scientists have reworded their ideas of matter to call it an interruption in energy waves. In other words, it is energy that has slowed down and condensed into matter. You may use your focus to do the same thing. Let your focus and attention be only on what benefits you. Consciously slow down your mind to the present moment so reality may condense around you. If something bothers you, do not complain, do not judge, for you are only putting energy into that which you do not like. Where water flows, food grows. The less your focus can be divided, the better you will be at creating realities that make sense to you. Focus on creating the good, not condemning the bad. And that was The Law of Correspondence, written by yours truly in the book 7 Pillars, a handbook for existence. Hope you guys liked it. Because I sure enjoyed writing it. It's short and sweet, not too long. That's one of the shorter chapters. Hey, Pops, you made it. Everyone say hi to my dad, Richard Garcia. So he did want to comment before. He just couldn't get his YouTube channel set up. Give me a second. I'm going to go back to I'm reading your guys' comments. That was one chapter, Lady B. One of the shorter chapters. The next chapter is Vibration, which is probably 2 to 3 times as long as that chapter. But the whole book itself is only 35,000 words. So you could probably finish it in realistically a day if you're a reader. You can finish it in a day, or over the course of 2 to 3 days if you're a moderate reader. Going back, I do love my background music, Lady B, for life in general. My only book? Damn, should I write another book? Is that what you guys are saying? Ooh, Slavi Studio. In this season of Advent, I have been studying the kingdoms of earth in correspondence with the spiritual hierarchies. That sounds like a wonderful topic. Mineral, plant, animal, human with angels, archangels. That sounds amazing. Big Smile on YouTube. What a dope-ass name. It's a cool-ass name. I'm going over you guys' comments now, so feel free to... Salavi Studio, your daughter just broke down for not having a 4.0. She'll be fine. Just show her, just Google successful people who didn't even graduate from high school, period, and it'll be probably half of the millionaires out there. So GPA doesn't mean what it used to mean. Thank you, Lady Poetry. I appreciate it for the review and for all the kind words and for the support on Patreon. Lady of Fire Poetry has actually been holding it down. So thank you. I really do appreciate that. And wow. Oh damn, Waddy. Waddy, you missed the live. Check this out. Ryan Watson, say what up. Everyone say what up to Ryan Watson. He Ryan Watson used to help me shoot my other. So if you, I don't know if anyone here has followed my other channel, Welcome Home, but Ryan Watson used to film the videos for me, and he was my roommate when I wrote this book, actually. So Ryan Watson has some of his vibes transposed in here because we were adventuring hard when I wrote this book. It finally came to life, Waddy. When does positive thinking become delusional? That's a damn good question. Thanks, Waddy. Miss you, Mango. You gotta come back. Ryan's on the East Coast. I'm now on the West Coast. He's from New York. But yeah. When does positive thinking become delusional, Lady B? I would say when you're positive thinking, people get positive thinking mixed with like they call, what's the term, rose tinted glasses, where they think the whole world is nothing but sunshine and rainbows, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. And positive thinking doesn't mean that everything is all good all the time. Positive thinking means despite your circumstance, which may be a fucked up circumstance, you're able to focus on either the solution to fix it or a way out, or the lesson that you need to learn from it. Positive thinking and becoming delusional, it's a very fine line. It really is a fine line for most people, and that's pretty much it. It's the difference between knowing taking a situation and making the best of it, and just having a blanket statement and saying it's all love and it's all light and, you know, it's just kittens and cottontails and shit, you know. So how do you know that when it's becoming delusional? You would have to ask yourself, because no one's gonna know better than you. You just have to take like a really sincere look at, you know, your circumstance, the direction you're headed in. Are your everyday actions leading to that goal that you want to get to? And it's simple. You can just take a list and say, here's 5 things I want to accomplish today to work towards my goal. If you only finish 2 of those things out of the 5, and you do that a week straight, then you failed that week and you're being delusional. So it's up to you really to decide. Yes, it's not my brother Waddy, it's my dad. That's funny. Lady B, is positive thinking faith? It could be. Positive thinking could be faith. I mean, the definition I gave you between positive thinking and being delusional is my take on that. You could ask 10 other people and they're going to give you their own take, again, relevant to what works for them. What I just told you might not work for you. But I feel it's a good difference between the two. Yeah, Blue Raven, everyone's done it. I've done it. The only reason why I could speak on it is because I've done it. And that's like step 1 into, not progressive thinking, but step 1 into like self-development and spirituality, and even religious people. They use positivity to lie to themselves. I think the term is called spiritual bypass, which we're all guilty of, myself included. So what, Crystal Prayers, I'm glad to hear it. I told you, Waddy can back me up. We were into some weird shit when I was writing this book. So this book has been imbued with some fantastic magical ass shit, so it doesn't surprise me that you're having crazy dreams after reading it. Good night, Kim Stewart. Thanks for joining us. Maybe I should do this. I'll try to do a chapter out of the book, maybe for over the next couple of weeks. It'll be good live material for y'all, and good promo. Dancing bird. Oh damn, Wadi, the dancing bird got killed by one of the dogs. Jojo got murked out. AC33, I'm reading your comment right now. Even though she makes terrible choices and somehow that shit works out for her. Is it this book? Is it the Hermetic Philosophy that talks about that? Confidence has a lot to say with success. You can be a total, like, think about guys who are super aggressive and they're boneheads. They still pull girls, but it's their bravado and their confidence carries their ridiculousness, and sometimes you can be an idiot and still be successful because you're confident in what you're doing. And we see that all. Not to say that your family member is an overly aggressive guy, but some people just fucking, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know what to tell you. The fool aspects, yeah, like what do you call it? The drunken master. That's kind of, it's the drunken master. There's a term for it. The natives have a term for it. Who's always drunk when he fights. Jar Jar Binks is a drunken master. He's always fucking up and doing stupid things, but he somehow manages to pull. Jar Jar Binks is a character out of Star Wars, but a lot of movies will do that. They'll have that kind of fool who always gets lucky and ends up winning in the end. That would actually be a really good video topic to do. Mr. Bean, I haven't seen Mr. Bean. Sounds like a good Captain Jack Sparrow. Damn, Waddy, that's a good one right there. Captain Jack Sparrow just does the stupidest shit constantly, but he's confident as fuck, and he believes in himself, and shit works out. Archetypes, yeah, I'm not big on archetypes. I need to study up on archetypes more. All my time has been invested in fucking diving into the Hermetic philosophy, but now it's time. Now it's time to open up. Ooh, Wadi, you know what's funny? The playlist I'm listening to right now, that I was reading the audiobook for, is the Rattlesnake Canyon post hours mix that we used to listen to. Just dosed out. Kuya, I think damn, that's cool. The Fool archetype. So this video, you guys, by the way, is officially done as far as the title, but we can stay and hang out and BS if you want. I'm totally down with that. I've got about an hour before I can go to bed and be functioning at work tomorrow. I'm just looking for a fool, or that's right, the fool, the trickster. I didn't know the fool and the trickster were the same person. The innocent, orphan, hero, character, explorer, rebel. Do any of you have information on tea leaf divination? I know that's hella random, but I'm about to pick it up. Tasseography. I'm gonna go hard on tasseography. Whew. Well, sweet, you guys. That was fun. I need to do more audiobooks like that. That was really cool. Yeah, that's super dope. I haven't enabled my. Still can't make. Never mind. Slavi, what do you think? I got a chance at being a tea leaf divinator? I was gonna do the tarot cards, but I don't know. Everyone does the tarot cards, and it would be kind of cool to do the tea leaf thing. That seems super gangster. I could use ganja leaves instead of tea leaves and crumble them up into tea and brew them and like do ganja tea leaf readings. You purchase fatty candles? Are the pyramids no longer my favorite candles? Actually, my favorite candles now aren't the big fatties. The spheres have been my favorite. The little spheres. They I don't know. They give the best light. I use them for light, as you can see. So the spheres give off the best light. If that's what you guys are going for, the pyramids look the coolest because they're fucking pyramids. I mean, who doesn't like pyramids? And the pillars are just gangster ass, like I'm going to church or something. So it makes me feel like I'm in church with the pillars. I like them all, to be honest with you. They're all dope. Yeah, exactly. The spheres are super bright because they stay pretty open. Whereas the pillar, as you can see, it starts to cut down the center. Except for this one. This one over here doesn't really cut down the center. Kind of burns the whole thing. But getting off topic. Papa Can's corner with a doo-doo boo-boo. Leaves are leaves, Salavi. Yes, you are correct. Have I ever had a good psychic? No, I haven't had a good psychic. I've had phenomenal tarot readers. My homegirl went to high school with reads tarot. Super low key too. You would never think she does, but she fucking kills it. Phenomenal. She's done my reading, but never like a true psychic. And I have used a pendulum before, and it's trippy because it does spin of its own accord in different directions and do the crazy thing. Word on the podcast. What podcast, Wadi, are you talking about? I've got a couple things with the podcast developing right now. Oh, man. Bummer. Oh. No, I haven't started a... I don't know, I have so much shit going on right now, dude. I got a lot of stuff going on right now. I need to make time to start the podcast because podcasts are where it's at. If you get a good squad in, people love podcasts nowadays. I do burn a lot of candles. That's the one of the bonuses of being a candle maker is that anytime I fuck up on a candle, it's now my candle. So all of these had some kind of defect to them, and I just ended up burning them myself. Where is... Shit, what was I gonna look up? Pendulums scare you? All the demon summoning you guys are into is what scares me. You guys are savages. How can you guys just be about summoning demons? You guys are crazy. I know, Salavia, I love firelight. It's actually better. If I can help it, I won't use lights at night anymore because fluorescent lights really fuck with your melatonin and all the hormones that your body releases to put you to sleep, to regulate your sleep, and to wake your ass up in the morning. All gets jacked up by fluorescent artificial lighting. So firelight is a way to avoid that. Um, Plus, I mean, it's fire. Like, fire is dope as hell. Hmm. You will be hearing a baby in the background soon. No, these aren't the candles. One of the pillars is the one that smells like boo boo. It's this one. This pillar smells like. What does it smell like boo boo? It just doesn't smell like beeswax. Um, have I communicated with angels? I don't think so, but I used to have a dream. A reoccurring dream when I was a kid about an angel rowing me up a river in a boat, and she was just like standing up behind me rowing a boat down a river, and I used to have that dream all the time when I was a kid. So maybe that was an angel. Yes, I'm expecting a child in February. I'm expecting a child, a little boy. That's funny. There's definitely going to be a little baby screaming in the background come real soon. He's going to be like, "Wait, let me on the live, Pops. Let me on the live." Ooh, AC33 fed baby. My little baby is expected to be born on Valentine's Day, but he probably won't come that day. Yes, a little Aquarius. Lady B, to answer your question, who's summoning demons? And I said that because a lot of my subscribers are also Ashira's subscribers, and like every other video, Ashira's talking about rituals and summoning things, and I would just make it a bad joke. My bad. Ooh, thanks AC33. And I'm definitely nervous and anxious and excited and all the things. What's the most demonic thing? Whew, this conversation just took a turn right there, Lady B. The most demonic thing that can be done spiritually, I have no fucking clue. What? Such a heavy question. I don't know. Probably murder a child so that you can have a favor done for you seems like a pretty demonic thing to me. But, you know. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. I think we is done, maybe? Ooh. Alicia, I saw your order. Which one did you order? Oh, the flowers. You got the flowers. Dope, Alicia. We got your flowers. I have tons of flowers. I just made a whole bunch of them, so I won't be able to get them out tomorrow because I have work, but I'll get them out on Tuesday. Cinnamon rolls flowers? AC33, they're not the cinnamon ones. I haven't gotten the cinnamon oils yet. I need to order the essential oils for the cinnamon and the pine. These ones that you will be getting on leaving on Tuesday will be the lavender and cedar, which smell pretty bomb too, as I'm sure you know because you've gotten them already. The cinnamon and lavender will be there soon. Plus, yeah, yeah. There's no handbook for children. Amen to that. Cruz Perez, buenos noches. See you next time. I think I will be out on that note too, y'all. So, unless any of you guys have something incredibly important to say, I will be zipping up and zipping out. Peace out, Waddy. Thanks for stopping by. I'll shoot you a text before I get on next time. Yeah. Yeah. Sleep with the angels or the fishies. No, that's a bad thing to say. Don't sleep with the fishies. Sleep with something on land that's dry. Night Pops, I'll see you at work tomorrow morning, bright and early. Peace out, everybody. Whoa. Trying to log out here. Come on.